What's going on, guys? Welcome back to this channel. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Now, crypto, I know this is not a channel where we normally talk about crypto, but the reason why I'm bringing it up now is because since it has been running, like Ethereum is hitting $1,500 mark, Bitcoin is about to crack 23,000 and so on. These are, Bitcoin is the riskiest asset that we know so far, and thus, because it's running, will that sentiment and that optimism fall and spill into equities, right? Equities is a risk off asset as well. So we shall see. We shall find out. And if you guys remember, my original thesis is that I was anticipating for markets to head on lower, making new lows, breaking June the 17th low, which is right over here, all right, into the Fed, at which point the Fed will announce its interest rate decision, whether it's 100 basis points, 75 basis points, but the markets will find that bullish because it means that the Fed is actually being aggressive and serious about fighting inflation. However, we're getting some positive movement. So let's review. Here in the SPY, this is the possibility of a bearish scenario, which in the short term, we see price action head on lower, right? Post our all-time highs here in January, guys, we have 3 waves down to W, X, and Y of wave 2, which is what I'm tracking. All right, we are completing this cycle in an ending diagonal, all right, which will be made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These guys will be overlapping, and usually ending diagonals will be found in the wave C or wave 5. All right, in this case, we have the wave C, and we have 5-wave subdivision. Okay, obviously, this wave count comes into invalidation if we start breaking north of 390.64, which is the previous high in the wave 2. All right, guys, so we should be heading aggressively lower if this is going to play out. If this is going to play out, then markets will start rolling over relatively soon, impulsively and aggressively, and you will feel it, all right, because it's painful. So if that happens, then we will unfortunately head on lower. But again, given the fact that Bitcoin is running, who knows? Now, 390.64. Okay, let me now roll over into the bullish count, and this ties into the title of this video. Wait for this confirmation. This is my favorite all-time setup, which gives me the edge in this market because it allows me to have very, very small level of risk for a potential big reward. I'm gonna do a separate video on this, but I'm gonna show you guys what that is. All right, guys. So turning off this negative bearish count, and let's go over to our bullish count. All right, so I'm gonna drop you guys down to, actually no, let's stay here because this is important to review. Now, same deal, right? W, X, and Y to wave C of wave 2 completed June the 17th, whereas in the bearish count we have that completing further out in time. All right, now we're looking at this bullish count as the 17th is the low. Okay, now I'm going to take you to the 30-minute time frame, and we're going to review what is my favorite setup. So I'm going to hide this real quick. Okay, so 1, ABC, 2, looking for the 3rd wave pop, 4th wave pullback, 5th wave to start, looking for the confirmation of the uptrend. Now, because we are still in the smaller time frames and the smaller degrees, right? The wave 2 here was a little too skewed. Okay, so my favorite setup is that once we confirm the first wave up, right, in 5 waves, so here, right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is very subjective. All right, but say that this is the 5 waves, 3 waves down, this is the confirmation. When we have the 3-wave pullback, as I mentioned on Friday's video, if you missed that, please go watch that, but I'll review this with you guys again. Right, we have the wave 1, and then we have A, B, and C. All right, so this is the setup, right? This is the wave 1, A, B, C into 2. So once we have this wave 2, ABC pullback confirmed, ABC pullback confirmed to a 618, 50%, ideally the 50%, it gives us a good zone of risk. Why is that? Because it gives us the opportunity to get in long here for the possibility of this wave 3 if our wave count is correct. But if it's wrong, the small level of risk is a stop below its origin of wave 1. So in this case, okay, let me show you guys. So in this case, we have about a 2.45 or 2.5% of risk for a potential 8.3 or 9%, about 9% level of reward, right? If we were to get down here. So you start to seeing the picture, right? You start getting the picture. All right, guys. So you already know this setup. You already know what I like doing. So once we peel this market and zoom in further into price action, right over here, we start to further confirm if this is going to be the case. So let's zoom in and we're going to apply the same logic. Okay, we're going to look for 5 ways up, 3 ways down, support, get on board to the long side. So let's go into the 15-minute time frame and let's zoom in to price action. Here, actually, I don't know why I shut these off, but here's what I'm gonna do. Right, we're gonna label this together. We're gonna count waves together. All right, so the SPY is clearly showing us 5 waves up. Okay, acceleration gap is indicative of impulsive structures, right? So we have wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. Okay, that checks out. Let's demote this to a smaller time frame or smaller degree. All right, now here's what I'm looking for. Okay, this is our, remember, right? We're looking for 3 waves pullback. So far we have 1. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This will be our wave A. Oops. This will be our wave A, pullback in B, and down in C. Now wave 2s are zigzags. Often than not, they become zigzags. Wave 4s would be flat corrections or complex corrections, hence the guideline of alternation. So if we're looking for this to be a zigzag, we want to see price action head towards somewhere between the 618 and the 50%. So that gives us a zone, or that gives us a pullback coming into tomorrow, right? This is where it becomes a very, very interesting point, right? Because we should see tomorrow a pullback to the upside to somewhere between, if we take a retracement tool, right? If we say look at the 38.2 to 23.6, we should see a pullback towards a 383, 382, and then sharp push lower into wherever that is. We'll take a measure move, right? Because A will be equal to C, in this case for the zigzag, and then we'll see from there. But for now, this will be the setup, right? We got the A, complete the B, wait for the C, look for support, head on higher. Have your stop loss at the end of wave 1. All right, very simple, and then you'll enjoy the ride up, right? Because you've confirmed 5 waves up, you've confirmed 3 waves down, you found support at a common fib retracement for wave 2, and then you head on higher. All right, guys. So be on the lookout for 380, 377 for a potential pullback in the wave 2 for the smaller degree on the SPY. All right, let's hop on over to the triple Qs ETF for the NASDAQ. Same deal. Beautiful setup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe the 5, the A is still ongoing. We're gonna get a pullback in the wave C. Sorry, in the wave B. Let me hide this for a second. This pullback should come up towards the 23, 36. Let's call it a range, right? Because we can't be too confident. Not confident. That's not the right word. We can't be too precise. We just have to have a range. Right, so let's call it 23 to 50. Anywhere between this zone, anywhere between this area is where we can expect markets to start rolling over in the wave C, at which point we take a measure move, right, from the high origin of wave A to the completed wave B, and gives us a 100% extension, which in return represents about a 618, I believe, percent retracement of the overall extension. All right, well, just about. Okay, we are within that range. So somewhere around here is where, if in fact the wave B completes in that zone that I just mentioned, then we shall see where wave C completes. All right, guys. So it's getting cool. It's getting good. It's getting crazy, right? It's getting phenomenally dicey out there. Just saying. Take a look real quick at Bitcoin. We can see that is at 22. We had a good push up here. I'm gonna take you back up to the daily time frame because we made note of something, right? We're looking for this, the third wave, to complete. W, X, and Y of wave 4, we're about the range, within the range of the potential pullback or reversal that I've been noticing. I've been noting here in the channel for quite some time. So if you guys missed these videos, I encourage you guys to join Trending Waves because I post these charts every single day for you guys. All right, guys. So I think I'm gonna call it a day here. Let's see. Going back to the triple Qs, just be on the lookout for that pattern that I explained to you guys, because that is a good setup to be, to just understand. If you guys want to learn more about Elliott wave analysis, just understand this pattern, all right, because that's going to give you the edge that you need. Only this one pattern, the rest will follow. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Peace out. See you guys tomorrow.